What's going on, everybody? Matt Davis from Final Rise here, and we're extremely excited to introduce a new product that will break us into a whole new product line. We're going to start with this first here, but we now have Final Rise training bags, pigeon bags, live pouches, whatever you want to call them. Now, like every piece of gear that we make, everything is sourced, sewn, and made in American quality. When we set out to create this product, we wanted to address some of the things that we felt could be improved on. Obviously, going out into the field, training our dogs, and going through the process, you're constantly analyzing your gear, and there's always little things that can be improved upon. So we're taking that initial step to try to do that, and think that you guys are really going to enjoy some of the great features found in this training bag. First and foremost, I want to talk about the quality of the materials that we are using in these game bags. It kind of seems over the years that they've become semi-disposable. You'll train with them a year or two, they wear out, you get another one. So you're constantly spending that 30, 40, 50 bucks every couple years. And like so many things in today's world, it just seems like they're not built to last. Well, that is not our approach. We've used some very, very heavy duty and robust fabrics, and the same things you're gonna find on our Upland hunting vest. So if you had the opportunity to use one of those, you know the quality of products that we're putting out, and we didn't cut any corners going into this. So right on the front, we're gonna point out is that we are using a 10-ounce mesh. Now, what has become kind of the standard is a 6.5 or 7.5 ounce mesh, which is lighter, less durable, less robust than this. One of the major benefits and values of using a 10-ounce mesh are the numbers of holes found in a square inch. This yields 11 by 11, where a 7.5 ounce or 6.5 ounce is going to be right about 9.9. So you're getting additional squares, which they are slightly smaller, but because of the overall weave, you're actually increasing the amount of airflow. So if you're training early season when it's hot, it's during the summer, you've got a limited amount of time, you don't want to be keeping those birds in the bag for a very long time. We want to be able to maximize the ventilation to those birds. And so improving that quality of mesh allows us to do that. And obviously it's a lot more robust and it's going to last a lot longer. Moving on from the mesh, you'll probably recognize the 1000 denier Cordura that we're using on this particular training bag. Now, this is the exact same fabric that we use on all of our Summit XT series. That is our flagship product. It is absolutely built to last. And if you're looking for an abrasive resistant fabric that is just going to stand the test of time, it is darn near impossible to beat 1000 denier Cordura. And you'll notice on the front here, we've also thrown in the embroidery. So you've got that found on either side, recognizable in the field, and it just adds to the quality and high-end look of our products that we're putting out. Now, a couple additional features that are unique to the Final Rise training bag is when you're out training in the field, usually if you're walking around with just a training bag, you need to be able to carry a transmitter, maybe your training pistol, extra primers, a water bottle, and whatever else you need for your particular training style. Well, if you're anything like me, I like knowing where my things are at all times, and being able to compartmentalize things and know that, hey, this pocket holds this and that pocket holds that, makes it a lot easier and more intuitive for me to be able to handle a dog and get the results that I'm after. So not only do we have a large pocket or pouch, whatever you'd like to call that, found on either side, we have an additional layer of pockets, two smaller ones that have a stitch line found up the middle here that allow you to put some of those smaller items in there. So you can put pieces of kit into those particular locations to where you know where that is. Again, that could be your training pistol, that could be a water bottle holder, that could be a controller, whatever that needs to be. Being organized to me is absolutely paramount to being able to handle things in a quick manner. Moving on from the fabric and some of the organization, one of the most frustrating things that you encounter in the field is when you have your training bag on, you know, it's slung over your shoulder, you go to address a dog, or you go to plant a bird, or you just bend over to tie your shoe, that training bag is coming swinging down into your face, especially if you have any type of weight in there. And so we went away from having a type of water bottle pouch on here that can make it top heavy and make it want to pull forward. So you're going to be able to fit the water bottle into any of these pouches like we already discussed. But we also have a metal trigger snap that is modular, and it can be moved to either side depending on how you want to utilize that. And this is going to allow you to clip that onto your belt loops and keep it nice and secure. So whenever you bend down, now you're not going to get your training pistol knocking out your front teeth. And one of the reasons we went with a metal trigger snap is these are a lot easier to operate. A standard spring snap that has the small little nub on the end of that, if you're wearing gloves, if you're just not intuitive enough to be able to operate that without seeing it, it's really hard to miss this. All you got to be able to do is reach and touch that and open it right up. It's going to be able to hook onto your belt loop. Super, super easy. And we put it on the end and not in the middle because we don't want to be fighting trying to get something on right here. I usually like to wear my bag right on my hip. I'm going to be able to access the 10-inch snap that we've got on the top here. And all I do is I clip this on to the very back of my belt loop, which everybody can reach, very accessible, and that holds it in place, keeps it very secure, and again, just makes it a lot more intuitive to use in the field. Last thing to point out on this product is that we are using a 10-inch hexagon opening here on the top here. You can close it in 2 separate parts. If you're working quail or some of the smaller birds and you only need to access a smaller part to avoid birds escaping out the top, you can open just either side, or you can open the entire thing. You can close it with your elbow. Very intuitive, very sound, very easy to operate again in the field. And if for any rhyme or reason this wears out over time, it's very, very easy to replace these snap hinges. So if you guys are looking for a very, very well thought out, quality American-made training bag, we know it's training season. We know you guys are excited to get in the field, get your hands on the dogs, see some birds fly. Check out the Final Rise training bag, available at finalrise.com.